Welcome to another tech video. Today we're going to be having a look at quite a nice little Lenovo Ideacentre. It's a Core i5 machine in silver. Okay, so let's get this unboxed and opened. So inside we've got a box with the mouse and power cord. And then we've got our keyboard. Let's just check to see if this is wired or wireless. I'm fairly sure it's wired, which it is. Yep, so it's a standard Lenovo keyboard. And then inside the box we've got some good robust packaging that keeps the system housed away from the edges, so shouldn't get damaged in shipping. And then it's in a plastic bag. And there we go, so it's nice silver finish. Okay, starting from the front, we've got a typical Lenovo plastic silver panel with the grey insert. So this one's a Core i5. It comes with a 10th gen 10400 processor. It's a hexa-core running at 2.9 gigahertz, boosting up to 4.3 gigahertz. Comes with 12 meg of onboard cache. Let's have a look at the connectivity. So at the top we've got our power button, and then moving down we've got a headset jack, and then we've got a high-speed Type-C port. So this is a blanking plate for a card reader that doesn't exist on this actual model, so it's just a blanking plate. And then on the back we've got HDMI out, and we've got VGA out. We've got 4 USB 2 ports on the back here. We've got a gigabit Ethernet adapter. No dedicated graphics, so the graphics in here are UHD, I think UHD 630. Let me just double check. Yep, UHD 630. And then we've got our power supply on the bottom. Now, the nice thing about this one is it is really, really quiet, and Lenovo have taken the liberty of mounting their case fan with these rubber grommets, so it is ultra quiet. And then looking around the whole unit itself, we've got a grill down the side here for airflow, and then we've got our usual gumph stuck on the bottom there. On the whole, yeah, looks quite a nice machine, so let's go ahead and open it up and have a look at the inside. Alright, so inside the unit itself, as you can see here, nice and tidy, well laid out. So to get the cover off, all you do is there's a screw at the top and the bottom, so you remove that and then the cover just slides off. As you can see, you've got lots of connectivity options here for expanding storage. So we're going to remove this so we can have a little look a little bit closer inside, and to do that we've got to remove this front panel. So to remove the front panel, there's these 3 clips running down the side, so you just lift those up and then the front panel will just remove off completely. It's quite weighty, and there is airflow around here, so you've got a gap all the way down the side here, and then you've got obviously plenty of ports for the airflow to come in. You can actually remove this whole front panel, so there's a couple of screws, one at the top, one at the bottom here, and then the front panel will just unclip and you can remove it. Right, so let's have a look to see how we get this off. So looks like at the front of the unit, once you've got the front cover off, there's this little clip here that you can, okay. Right, yeah, so I couldn't work out whether you pushed it down or pulled it up, but in actual fact you pull it up, lift it up, and then the whole unit will slide forward, and then you can turn it up like that, and then you can take it out completely. A bit fiddly, but you can take it out completely. So inside here, this is we've got some nice rubber mounts that you can attach a hard drive in here. So looks like this one you can attach either a 3.5 or a 2.5 inch drive into this space here. Let's have a look at the connectivity on the bottom. Yep, you've got 2 SATA connections there, so you can quite easily either mount a DVD-ROM in this one, so one of the slim DVD-ROMs that will go in here, and these are the rubber mounting feet to stop any vibrations when it runs. And then looking at the front here, you would need to, if you've got a DVD-ROM in here, you would need to remove the front panel completely, and there's a DVD-ROM slot under here. So you remove this clip and you get access to your DVD once you've got it installed in there. Unusual design to have to take the front cover off just so you can use a DVD. But I guess this front panel will cover a whole load of different models. Right, so let's talk about the specifications a little bit more. So this one comes with Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi 5 apparently. It comes with gigabit Ethernet, as I mentioned. And then inside, let's have a look. So under this heatsink here, under the heatsink here, we've got an M.2 drive. This is a 500 gig M.2 drive. And then in the memory, so this comes with 8 gig of memory, and it comes with 2 sticks. So we're just going to remove a stick for now, because they should be 4 gig SODIMM sticks, which they are, running at 2666 megahertz. So this is DDR4, PC4 3200 running at 2666 megahertz. So if you wanted to upgrade the memory on here, you can buy up to a maximum of 32 gig, so 216 gig sticks of memory, and that will go in there. So this is running in dual channel mode. And then under here we've got our processor, obviously, so it's just the standard fan, but it is really quiet. And here's our case fan with our rubber mounting feet, so it keeps the noise down. And we'll have a listen to it, but obviously you'll get a little bit of noise on startup when this first spins up. But then as you move forward, the fan will spin down. So in terms of additional connectivity, this also comes with Bluetooth. So it comes with Bluetooth 5. And that's pretty much all to say about it, really. So weight-wise, it is 5.4 kilos. And the dimensions are 340 by 145 by 285 millimeters. So it's a small form factor. It will sit on a desk quite nicely. It doesn't have any feet on either of the back panels, so you'll be running it standing upright. However, you can obviously put some rubber feet on one of the sides and sit it comfortably on the desk in this format as well. Power supply wise, let's have a look. So it's a nice small form factor power supply. Let's just see if it tells us. Okay, so took me a while to find it, but it's a 260 watt power supply. So it's a low TDP on this processor, obviously. If you're going to be sticking a graphics card in on the PCIe slot, then you would probably want to find an uprated power supply depending on the type of graphics card that you're putting in. If it's a graphics card that doesn't require any additional power to it, then you can probably get away with this power supply. But obviously the higher specification graphics cards require a lot more power, so you'll be looking at swapping your power supply out here potentially, and you need to get a Lenovo specific one, because it's got bespoke power connectors in here. If you look, so the main power input is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pin power there, and then it's 4-pin up to the additional supplementary power on the for the CPU and processor. As I mentioned, additional storage, so you've got 2 additional SATA connections down here, so you could add into this tray. You could add another 2.5-inch drive up here, a DVD-ROM down here, or another drive down here, and so you can quite easily mount a 2.5-inch drive there and a 2.5-inch drive up at the top here, giving you plenty of storage. Okay, so getting this back together, so it's just a simple mechanism, but while we're here, I've forgotten to say that if you are adding cards in here, then the way to remove this is you simply lift that up, tip that out, put your cards in here. So you've got to break out the little PCI blanking plate on here, insert your card, that will then go in and that will hold it in place, and you can put an additional screw there to lock it. And then putting this back together, it's just a matter of slotting it in, sliding it forward, and then getting our front cover on. That just clips back into place, and then getting our side panel back on as well, which should just slide forward, which it does. Okay, so let's get this powered up and have a look what comes with it. Okay, so here we are within the unit itself. So we've gone through the setup process. We've created ourselves a user. I've loaded Chrome, I've loaded Adobe Reader, and that's pretty much it. So let's do a check on the system. Okay, so here we are. It comes with Windows 10 Home as standard, but it's got a TPM2 chip in it, so it'll quite happily run Windows 11 without too much of a problem. We've just gone through the basic setup process, so once it determines that it's eligible for Windows 11, then that upgrade option will become available. So here's our information about the system, and then if we go into and have a look at our device manager, so we can see our Micron 500 gig drive here. And let's go down and find the processors. So there's our processor with a hexa-core. So that's 6 cores, 12 threads. Why it's showing like that. Okay, and then bundled software. So not a huge amount on here, to be honest, which was fantastic. So as a user, you don't want loads of rubbish bundled with it. And nice to see that actually they didn't even bundle McAfee LiveSafe with this, which is great. So what you see here is basically what you get. All I've done is remove Lenovo Vantage after doing a BIOS update, and everything else is standard. So we haven't loaded Microsoft 365 because it comes bundled with it. So it comes with the Apps for Business version. So we've just signed in with the 365 account for the user that this is going to. And that's pretty much it. So we haven't really had to do anything apart from Windows updates, run the Lenovo Vantage and update the BIOS. So on the whole, what do we think of the machine? Well, yep, it looks really smart actually. Pleased with the look of this. I would class this as nearly a small form factor, but not quite a small form factor. So it ranges between the mid tower and the small form factor, but it will sit quite comfortably on a desk and it will look good as well. All of the high-speed connectivity is on the front. On the back, you've got the low-speed connectivity with the USB 2 ports. So what I would have liked to have seen is some high-speed USB ports on the back as well, which are sadly lacking. But 2 high-speed USB ports on the front, 1 USB Type-C high-speed port on the front. There's no reason why you can't add yourself in a little hub there if you need more USB connectivity. But nowadays, not so sure you do. On the back of the unit as well, there is the line out, or the audio out, if you want to plug in some speakers or hook it up to your sound system. So what was the price and where did we get it? So this was $499 at Currys PC World, including the VAT. And if you found that video useful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. I just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.